This is Chiming In with Elise and David.
So here in Virginia, we're in the season of fake spring. Does everyone have that?
So fun.
Yeah, so it's like 80 degrees, 90 degrees even one day, I think. And the next day it was maybe 20.
30, 20, yeah, freezing.
Yeah, every few days. And then, of course, there's like a beautiful day. You're like, oh, here we go. And then everything blooms.
Right.
Like tons of trees all at once, like beautiful, and yet we can't enjoy it but so much because we can't breathe and compete because we're chewing the air. Is yellow pollen
Everywhere.
is everywhere.
A 2-inch
like a
layer
cake.
on everything.
It's a layered cake.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't even open up your kitchen window because it comes inside.
Maybe they'll discover that it's something really good for you and healthy.
I don't think so. It makes you sneeze, and it's really, really hard to get off your car.
It's literally like you have to have a chisel. So we tried something last year, I guess, where we try to take the furniture off our porch into because we have some space to do this, to bring it inside for basically the next 3 weeks. So
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
I think it is if you can. I don't really know what the best solution is. Everyone's always talking about it every year. What's your way? It's power wash and vacuum, and I don't know. I just don't think we can compete with it. It's like it wins. Yellow pollen wins. I don't remember this growing up in quite the same way. Do you? I think it's gotten worse over time.
Yeah, I really don't remember it. You're right. It's
I just don't remember it being a thing. I don't
maybe
know.
because we're the ones that have to take care of everything now. We have to bring everything in, and
Yeah.
like when you're kids, somebody else is doing that.
Yeah. I still think we would remember it.
I mean,
I think it's gotten worse.
I do remember there being pollen
Everything's
on
gotten
stuff,
worse.
but I just don't remember it being a big thing.
We were having a conversation the other day with our buds and talking about desserts from childhood. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
I said, oh, this is a good podcast topic.
Desserts or candies?
Well, you switched it in the middle because
Right.
you can't stay on one topic for more than a second.
So what were some of the desserts
Well,
that
we were
discussed?
talking about like tasty cakes
Oh, right. Those.
and Little Debbie's
Right.
and all the things that kind of in between, like Twinkies and Ho-Hos. And
Twinkies, yeah.
we didn't really talk about this one, but oatmeal cream pies.
I do. I feel that in my mouth when you say that.
Totally. That was like part of my lunchbox, I think.
Do you remember the Fun Dip candy that you had the little packets and you'd have to stick the little straw into it and
No, not a straw. It was like a little,
a little stick or something that you'd wet?
it was a piece of sugar,
Oh,
hard
yeah,
sugar
yeah.
candy. So you could dip it, suck it, and bite it.
How was this stuff legal?
I don't know how we're alive. There was a comedian, I love him. I can't think of his name right now. He has a lot of nostalgic skits, and he was talking about eating the Flintstone
The chewables.
vitamins, like as if they were doing something, and they were basically sugar. And how did we even? Who even thought that was something healthy? Oh, I found the comedian. His name is Charles McBee, and you got to look him up on Instagram. He is so funny, and his Flintstone skit is basically calling out, "Are you one of the 10 million strong and growing?" and the second I read that, it was like you could hear the jingle. It's so funny how we grew up, like the commercials and all those things that stick in our head all the time and bring us like. It's almost like a language of its own.
Brings you right back. Do you remember that Starburst commercial that was like in a tunnel and it had all these strawberries and blueberries or wherever,
Sure.
whatever you
Like kind of space looking.
Yeah. And it would go through this tunnel. I remember that one. But I want to play a little game with you. I want
You always
to name a
do.
candy,
You always do.
and I want you to tell me whether you liked it and what it was. All right? So I'm going to start with some easy ones. First one is Big League Chew.
Big League Chew was a pouch of shredded, I think they called it bubble gum, but it lasted for no chews.
That's right.
One chew,
One
and
chew.
it was no more flavor.
I think that it was supposed to be like tobacco. Like if
Yes.
you're
Oh my
right,
God,
you're
that's so
supposed to be like
disgusting.
a baseball player would be
Yes.
chewing on that.
Like,
So
like, yeah, like a, what do you call it? Like a dip? Is that what you call it?
you'd put it in your mouth. Yeah. Speaking of like smoking products, they also had those cigarette
Oh, sure.
things that were
Candy.
You'd blow them, and the puff of sugar would come out of them.
What?
I don't know how
That did
was
not
legal.
happen.
Yeah, and little kids were eating them.
No, they were just, nothing blowed.
Yeah,
What are you
it did. It had a little paper around it, and if you blew in it, there would be like a little puff that would come out.
I don't. Okay.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
it's true. I'm telling you.
Okay, I believe you.
I'm not making
Sort
that
of.
up.
I do not believe you.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a piece of candy. It was like a candy sugar stick.
All right. Well, what about Pop Rocks? Do you remember Pop Rocks?
Ugh, I love Pop Rocks.
So
I could
what was
have a
Pop Rocks? What did you do with that?
Pop Rocks were also in a little small pouch that was a sprinkle of, like, I guess it sort of looked like little crystally sugar.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on your flavor, that was the color. Green was lime, whatever. And you put that in your mouth, and after a second or two, it started to fizz and
Explode in your mouth.
literally pop, sometimes to the point of pain in your
Yes,
mouth.
it
And you had
did.
to be
It hurt.
careful. I think there's people who got injured, actually.
Really?
Maybe, yeah.
And a cousin of that was the Zotso Fizzy. Do you remember those? Those are those small little packets,
Yeah.
that same sort of thing that would make a
Did
fizz
they
in
do
your
that?
mouth. Yeah,
I remember
they
the
fizzed.
word zots and sort of the soury. Maybe they were sour.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I didn't really like that. I put that in the category. I did not like those as much. I like the Pop Rocks though. And what about Mary Jane's? Do you remember those?
I love Mary Jane's. Mary Jane's are chewy little small pieces of candy individually wrapped. And
Very distinctive packaging. It had that kind of brownish and
like
yellow.
a little vintage girl maybe on the front.
Yeah.
Mary Jane, I guess. And let's see, maybe like a nougat, like a peanut buttery kind of,
Yeah, it
or
was-
nutty maybe,
yeah, it
not
was-
maybe not peanut, but like nutty.
Yeah, it
Am I
was
making
like,
that up?
Yeah, no, it was kind of a hard, but it would go soft if you started
I'm
chewing
gonna have
it.
to have some of those.
We're gonna have to get this. All right, and let me tell you about Bazooka Joes. Bazooka Joes were so fun because they had a little comic inside of them, but the worst gum in the world. Like, it never tasted good. I had to spit it out the minute I put it in my mouth.
It also probably might break teeth. Like, was it not hard?
It was super hard, and if it was really
Like,
old,
if you threw that across the room to someone and missed, you could take someone out. I
you
think.
could, yeah. I think the whole novelty of that was the little cartoon that was inside.
Obviously.
Yeah, that was fun. And what about Nico wafers? Do you remember those?
Of course, those are my mom's favorites. So whenever we were in a little general store and they had those, she's like, "Oh my God, I love Necco wafers," or the chocolate ones maybe were her favorite, but
Does she
usually
like
the,
eating chalk too? Because I
Totally.
think that if you were out of chalk, you would be able
No,
to
I
write on a
remember
chalkboard
the
with
first
them.
time I ever bought them, like thinking, "Oh, my mommy's favorite candy. This is so exciting!" And I was like, "What is happening?"
The worst.
I do like the thin little wafer texture. It had potential, but
It had no flavor, had
all
no
these
taste.
candies kind of were just. I don't know how we're alive. Did I say that already?
I know. It's a lot of sugar. What about Nerds? Because that's my favorite.
No.
I still love those
Hot
to this
garbage.
day. It's good stuff. The only problem with the Nerds is that you can't ever open them without ripping the whole box apart, and then you can't use the little pouches to eat them.
When I first met you, I could hear you coming because you always had a little shake, shake, shake action in your pocket.
I know the trick is you can't put them
And
in
you
your
know
pocket.
what?
have to
You
put 'em
do
in
have
your-
a problem with candy because when I borrow your coats, like
Mm-hmm.
in the winter, and I throw them on to go get the mail or whatever, there is always candy in the pocket.
Mulatto. I really tried to cut
Oh,
down.
please.
I'm
Is that
trying.
cutting down?
I'm trying to cut down. I'm
All
trying to
right.
be healthier.
I think maybe, yeah, I don't know. I think they made you a little addict when you were little. It's funny because how about the fact that did your grandparents have candy dishes in the house?
Yes.
Every
Oh
person
my
I knew
gosh.
had candy dishes, and what was in your candy dish?
It was that. It was that little candy that had chocolate on the inside of it, and you'd suck on them. What were they called? They were Russell's.
Andy's mints,
No, I didn't have those. My grandmother, I would
like
eat
the
them.
restaurant gave you at the end of the meal, like the
No,
little
it was a little twisty thing, and inside was a little hard candy that either tasted like coffee or chocolate. And the
coffee
ones that
nips.
nips, that's it.
Yeah,
That's what they were.
yeah, yeah.
And the coffee nips, no, the chocolate nips had either caramel or chocolate inside that you got. The reward was is as you sucked it, it would come out. And I love
The
those.
reward
That
for
was the
doing the
reward.
work of sucking.
And I can't find them anymore.
No, no, no. They exist. They're like in a little box, I think.
I know, but I don't think they have them anymore. I went to all the,
You looking for them?
stores. Yeah,
You have a
maybe.
problem.
Maybe I look for them once or
So when
twice.
I was at School of the Arts, we had, unlike colleges of these days, there was just the cafeteria that was the only place to eat except for a small snack bar that was open at certain times. And on the counter at the snack bar was a whole huge candy jar of nips, coffee nips. And they were like, I don't know, 5 cents or something.
Awesome. I would
Yeah.
have loved that.
Yeah, I know,
Do you,
clearly.
do you like Twizzlers? Because I hate Twizzlers. I don't
Yeah,
like them at all. I think they taste like rubber. They have no flavor.
yeah, they're
Some
not
people
so.
love them.
Yeah, we used to get them. When when the bulk stores started to come out, I remember my mom had a big like huge jar of
Container of
Twizzlers.
them.
Container, yeah,
Yeah,
like a plastic
yeah.
container. Anyway,
And
so
also, do you remember the button ones? The candy that came on these long
yeah,
strips of paper with all the colored buttons?
yeah, sugar again, just nothing.
Yeah,
Tastes like
no
nothing.
flavor,
Eat the
just
paper. We also ate the paper.
The paper went right in.
It it didn't come. It didn't come off. You peel
No.
a little button or whatever, like a half circle moon
Yeah.
off the paper with the paper, and if you're lucky, it was just a tiny bit of paper you were eating.
Did you ever eat the bottles? Those little
The
they were
wax?
wax bottles that had this
Disgusting.
disgusting colored liquid inside of them.
Like Coca-Cola,
My sister
root beer,
loved those.
root beer.
She would get those, and I'd be like, "Those are disgusting."
All that wax crap was gross. Are you done with your list? I didn't even know we were playing this.
Okay, there was one more. The necklace.
Yeah,
the
the
candy
candy
necklace that
necklace.
you'd sit there and you'd have to like
Equal
pull it.
garbage to the buttons.
Yeah, yeah.
All the same. It's all the same food.
It's like whenever you have some novelty, like it's something you wear, it's disgusting. Like,
Yeah, it's of
what
course
is going
you're
on with
supposed
that?
to eat it. Well, I'm now into the game, and I'm going to ask you, and I already know your answer. Circus peanuts.
Oh,
Remember
those? Are
those?
disgusting. Those
Yeah.
were they had this spongy type of material with them, and they were like, were they peanutty?
No, they just looked like the shape of it was a
was
peanut,
gross.
but they were like orange, like sherbet color,
Yes.
and they
weren't even,
tasted.
They weren't even trying to be good.
It was not quite a marshmallow. See, I like chewy things, so every now and again, when someone had those, I didn't. I was like, hey, these have potential. But again, what is the flavor? Not sure.
What about speaking of marshmallow? You like Peeps? Easter time.
Yeah. Did we talk about that? I love them after they have sat on the counter opened.
They became hard, had a hard shell on the outside.
They do become, in present tense, sort of chewy in the best way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any others for me?
Old candy. I mean, when I was picturing the Necco wafer in the store I was thinking of, they had the jars of, I think they called them penny candy or something, like the little sticks and the different colors, maybe flavors.
Oh
maybe
yeah,
not
yeah.
flavors.
I always had those in stores, like when we would have breakfast.
Like a general store or
right,
something.
right. And because they had 1,000 different flavors, and I would try to find like grape or something, and they always had kind of like stripes
Swirls.
around it.
Yeah, that's what I was. So yeah,
And I like those because as you sucked on them, they
know if
became
that was
so
called-
sharp you could poke your sister with them.
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah, like almost like you could write with it.
It was
Like
so
a pencil's
sharp.
tip.
No, you could kill somebody with one of those.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is a topic change. I saw something, I think on Instagram last week that said millions of people today are living with something I call phantom urgency. Have you ever heard of that? Yeah, it caught my attention because the rest of it says the constant feeling that something important needs your attention right now, even when nothing actually does. Your body feels like you forgot something, like you're late, like you're missing a message, like someone is waiting on you. But when you check, nothing is happening. Your nervous system evolved to react to real interruptions, a voice calling your name, footsteps approaching, a sudden sound in the forest, each one meant pay attention immediately. Modern life turned interruption into a constant background signal. So notifications, emails, messages, breaking news, updates, alerts. Your brain receives hundreds of fake alarms every day. After years of this, something strange happens. Even when the phone is silent, even when nothing is happening, your nervous system stays in a state of expecting the next interruption. So, in other words, the nervous system has been trained to behave like something important could happen basically at any time, every few minutes. So, this person posting says that feeling is called phantom urgency. And I thought it was so interesting because I've spoken about that before in, it's not therapy, but it's like a, group discussion that I have with a person, a mentor person who has. I've said, listen, I have this like feeling like a ticker, like that I've got to go, 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 and I've realized it's not. It's more this. It's more what this Instagram post was about. It's not so much like I've got to go, like in the sense of like, I don't know, ADD. It's not really that. It's this feeling like I don't have enough time to get everything I want to do done, and then I get shut down. That's just a whole nother topic. But this phantom urgency, that was really curious to me.
We have so many distractions in our life, and we get so focused in on the things that are distracting us, like our phones and social media, that I can imagine if you're stuck in that kind of loop of being focused on something that's taking up your time, where possibly hours go by where you're just kind of in that world, that the minute you come out of it, you're like, what did I just miss? It's almost like being asleep. You wake up and you're like, well, normally I'm productive, but today I've done nothing. So I better hurry up and go do something. Like I can see that being a feeling with that. And then it also made, when you just said all that, it made me think of what happens on the news right now, which we're trying not to watch, but breaking news literally every 3 seconds. So if there's an emergency every 3 seconds that is not really an emergency, it almost like pulls you out, like urgency, like what's happening,
Right.
what's
So
going
you
on.
can't be at your ultimate best self if you're constantly in this feeling of anxiety. I mean, it's so it's so anxiety producing. Don't you think?
Yeah, but I wonder if we do kind of shut out the outside noise, if that wouldn't alleviate that problem. I feel like I wouldn't have that if I weren't so
So that's what I'm
receding.
kind of talking to for myself. I feel like I'm pretty good at keeping the news where it belongs and taking, out of it, taking what I need out of it. And so I don't really vibrate at that anxious level if I don't, if I try really, really hard not to.
Do you do
Okay.
the scrolling though? Do you get on like Facebook and just sit there for 30 minutes looking at people's posts and stuff?
Yeah, but that's not on my feed. It's not news like that.
No, but I mean, the whole idea is that it's taking up your time, and then you're done with it, and you're like, oh, don't I need to be doing something? I feel like that's the
Yeah,
urgency
so
they're
that's
talking about.
no, it's really not what I'm talking about. That's what I'm trying to say. It's a different sensation, like that I have limited time almost on earth, like general for me. So I have things that I want to do or explore or learn and then give, my create, express. Both of those things are probably equal for me, and I always have this sense of urgency, like if I'm behind the eight ball, I guess. I have this feeling like I'm always behind instead of right where I'm supposed to be. So I have to fight against that because I know personally I'm right. We all are exactly doing what we're supposed to be doing.
So
I trust in that.
Do you think it has something to do with where you are in life then? Like,
No, I think it has to do with exactly what that Instagram post was. It's sort of like this innate thing from the beginning of time where it made sense why we had our alarm bells could go off, and we don't really have them the same way now.
but if somebody's 20 years old versus somebody who's 70 years old, and the 7-year-old is waking up finding they haven't written the book that they wanted to write, and they didn't do the bucket list of things they wanted to go see, I can see there being an urgency in that versus the 20-year-old who says, I got my whole life, I can do all that later, not feeling that same sense of urgency.
Okay, but what about this 50-something-year-old who's in the middle of...
Well, you have half urgency then.
I have to tell you, while you were talking, I just stuck in the words phantom urgency into Google, just curious, and it pulled up that it was relating to urinating. So it was like a fake feeling that you have to go pee.
Oh, right.
And I have that too.
You have all
Holy
the phantoms.
crap. No, I kind of have that too. Like the sensation that like, especially if you tell me like I'm going into a place where I basically cannot go to the bathroom easily, or like a theater. Let's like say like that. Like I'm going to see a show. There's this phantom feeling that I really have to go to the bathroom, even though I do not, and there's nothing left in my bladder.
So thank you very much. I have to go to the bathroom now.
But it's like because because I know I can't, or I mean, you can, but because I know I can't, I almost feel like I have to more, even though for sure I know I don't.
I hate it when I get in the car and I have a trip that I have to do, and I immediately get in the car and I'm driving and I have to go to the bathroom immediately. And I'm like, what in the heck? I just got in the car.
You have to pee all the time. You can't even walk down the street. You had to text our friends the other day if they were home.
That is true. Well, it's because I had 3 cups of coffee. I drank way too much
But
coffee.
this also reminds me, I didn't really mean for this to go down this road, but this reminds me of the work of a person who I adore and did a lot of work with a famous author and guru named Byron Katie. Do you remember working on that with me? She talks about like a self-inquiry method where you try to reduce stress on yourself, because she developed this method where the first question is it true? Do you remember me? Is it really true? And can you absolutely know it's true? Like asking yourself that about anything, doesn't have to be about peeing. And then how do you react when you believe it? Even if it's not true, how do you react? And who would you be without it? Those are her 4 things.
Wow.
And it's a practice to basically go through that analysis. Obviously you would learn to do it, pretty quickly.
I feel like I do the first one a lot. I'm like, is it really true?
Exactly.
I've done that a lot better these days.
It's kind of like her
Especially
version.
when you tell me something that I'm doing wrong. I'm like, is it really true? No, it's not really true.
It's definitely true when you're doing something wrong.
Do you have an example of how this whole process works?
Yeah, I was just trying to find that. So an example would be, let's say your thought is my husband doesn't understand me. So is it true? Yes. Can you absolutely know that it's true? No. Sometimes they don't understand, and I cannot know exactly what they're thinking. Okay. How do you react when you believe that thought? Well, I feel mad. I feel lonely and like that he doesn't know me at all, and I withdraw. Who would you be without that thought? well, I'd be peaceful and present and probably a lot more loving. And then there's one more part to her method that I didn't mention before. It's called the turnaround. And it's where you turn the original thought into its opposite, like literally flip the words upside down so that you find the opposite perspective. So if my partner doesn't understand me, you turn it around and say, like, one option would be my partner does understand me, or I don't understand my partner, or I don't understand myself. So it's
I
a
love that.
real interesting way to have. It basically stops you in your tracks from developing, fake news, because if we subscribe to all these stories in our minds, they're just stories. And if you start acting life out using those as your script, you're probably not being your best.
And it allows you to take ownership of everything. So you don't have to worry or rely on somebody else.
You're in control.
You're in total control. No matter what comes your way, you have the power to stop in its tracks.
Exactly. You got it. Right. So you can only control your own self and your own reactions ever.
It's like what you say about cleaning your side of the street. When you see something that's being done wrong or an injustice, you just have to look to yourself and say, well, am I doing everything the way I need to do it? Right.
Yeah, I believe life is a collaboration, between within ourselves, within our fellow humans, and then within the universe. Okay. And we are not in control of almost anything in that, but we can control only our beliefs. And so I love her work. It's actually called The Work. That's the website, thework.com. Byron Katie. She was just so stuck in a spiral of depression and self-loathing, and I believe was in her 30s maybe when she couldn't even get out of bed, and she just had this life-changing moment where she realized that she had like an insight that her suffering, everything she was experiencing was coming from her thoughts about her situation. Like her life sucks. She doesn't deserve happiness, whatever. And it wasn't really due to the situation. It was her thoughts about the situation. So she got basically this insight that became such a gift to the world. If you haven't heard of her, I'm happy to share this today. It came out of, I don't know, it just came to me while we were talking earlier. But she realized the truth was that she believed her thoughts. And so therefore she was suffering. But when she didn't believe the thoughts, she was happy. So you said a few minutes ago you had to pee. The question is it really true?
It really is. I have to go very badly.
I mean, I don't know how we segue to that, but listen, her work is amazing. She's been doing it for decades. And now that I've thought to share it, I really hope you will take a moment to go to her, thework.com, and check it out. Because it's very simple, but very hard to do. But I do love, like you said, that first question does stop me in my tracks if I am, spiraling.
Yeah, and it's such an easy question. Is it true?
Yeah. Like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Is my kid gonna fail ninth grade? Oh my God. And then you're like, is that true? Like, is that a problem? So you start maybe that's just the way his life's supposed to look. I'm obviously making that up, but I don't know. I think if you are feeling that anxious nudge and it's a way out, it's a very helpful way.
Yeah, I really love the way there's kind of a step 1, 2, 3, and 4 for attacking these types of issues and also giving yourself the power. I see it every day, people blaming everything in their lives on the people around them, and they don't take any responsibility, and they don't look to themselves, and they don't ask that first question, is it true?
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, when someone cuts you off on the highway, and you're like, that asshole, and you're screaming, and you're like, who do you think you are? That's all, it's just stories. And, for all you know, they were rushing their sick child to the emergency room. I mean, why are we making up stories
Yeah,
all the time
that's
and
true.
then reacting to it? That's a cause of a lot of stress. And guess what? Stress is the cause of a lot of disease, dis-ease, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, not only is stress, but so is all the candy we talked about earlier. So I do like the idea of spring cleaning. We were talking about the pollen earlier, and there's such a nice, this time of year is so nice to think about spring cleaning, right? And so we're still in the midst of our crap everywhere. I hope we can finish the last little bit of it. That'd be great. So clear out
The
because
old and
clear
bring in
out
the
the
new.
old, bring in the new. Yep. It's a time of birth.
Yeah,
Yeah, as the season changes and we can get back outside,
that's
let's
right. I'm looking forward to sitting on the porch.
take a breath, and especially in this climate of so much conflict, keep your eyes on the beauty, and just know, like, is it really true?
Yeah.
No, it's not
Not
necessarily
true at all.
What is true is you're here and have a beautiful life, a beautiful day, all the good stuff. Find the light,
That's right.
and look up thework.com and give us your opinion here on this Byron Katie work. If you knew it already, if it's the first time you've heard of it, and if you feel like it's can apply to your own life, I'd be really curious to hear if you feel like the work is something you can add in.
And I'd like to hear what your favorite candy is.
I knew you were going to say that.
So send us that to.
How about your favorite old candy that
Yes.
is maybe disgusting, and your
Yes.
current candy? What's your favorite current candy?
I would love to hear about everybody's candies.
What is your favorite current candy?
Really trying not to eat them, but I really still love Skittles.
Gotcha. Yep. You and those sugary candies.
That's right.
All right. Well, I still like chocolate.
Yeah.
And chocolate peanut butter. Remember the commercial when the chocolate flies across the room into the peanut butter for the Reese's peanut butter cup?
Yes. Yes. I remember that visual.
I used to go do that after
You
that
love that.
commercial. It's delicious.
That's how they make them. You know, they
You know who
throw
makes a good one?
They throw peanut butter into chocolate. That's how they do it.
You know who makes a really good peanut butter
Who?
chocolate situation is Trader Joe's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We love those.
Like, don't buy them if you're
I like
not.
the dark chocolate ones. You like the regular milk chocolate ones.
I love dark chocolate, but in those particular candies, yeah, milk chocolate all the way, baby. All right, thank you guys.
All right. See you soon.